Hey, welcome to another riveting edition of Three Dudes Brews, the last call. I'm one of your most riveting hosts on this most riveting edition of Holy Shit, Thank God It's Thursday. Three Dudes Brews, the last call. Joining me on this most epic journey, the man, the myth, the Greek legend, Costa Sankaruli. Hey, dude, welcome to the show.
Cheers.
Cheers, dude. Oh my God.
Our shit together.
It's so nice to see your face looking back at me on the screen,
right.
Costas. When I think of like guys that I like to see that face looking back at me in the screen, wow, that sounded like whoa gay, but well, please welcome to the show, Ed the Doctor. Hey Ed, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing? What's everybody out there? And buddy, I can't help but stare at your lovely, smiling, flowing locks and Viking-esque.
I have deep eyes, Ed. I've been told I have
You
deep
do.
eyes.
You do. So it's Thursday.
Thank
God.
You're full of shit. That's what it is. Not deep eyes.
Brown, full of shit. Whatever you guys want to call it,
A little bit. Hey.
There we go.
We all have, yeah. The thing is finally out of my face. Guys, we have a really special show tonight because normally we go to the brewery and interview the brewer, but we have the brewer here on the show tonight. It's a lovely pleasure to welcome. Please welcome us to join brewmaster and local musician Justin Tinsdale. Justin, how you doing, dude? Welcome to the show.
Hey, Justin.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How you doing?
Pretty good.
Thank God it's a day closer to Friday for us, and Buddy's Friday now.
It's Buddy's Friday now. Oh my God. Speaking of Buddy's Fridays, guys, what are we and drinking good beer and enjoying good beer on Friday? What do we all got going on tonight?
So I pulled one out of the cellar for this one. A friend of mine recently in the last few months got a job up at Allagash, and she brought me the latest Resurgam. So I drinking that one for now, and then depending on how long this goes, I got the Rejects Coconut Porter here on deck.
Oh, nice.
Well, you had me a coconut.
Ed, what do you got going on over there, Doctor?
So, I am having a tasty long live. So, Moon River Rock. It is their Zen rice lager. So it's very tasty, very easy to drink, very crushable. If you are a fan of Japanese lagers and stuff, definitely.
Oh yeah, right. That's very delicious.
It is tasty.
Costas,
what about you two?
Going on there, kid?
Me, I'm still in my stout phase, so I'm drinking Tragmar Ale Works Raven's Call Coffee Milk Stout.
Well, that's good.
Yes. Coming in at 5% alcohol, so I'm starting off all. I've already had a couple of Sam Cherry wheats.
You didn't? It's like 5 is a nice place to start.
Yeah. I had to get a few prep beers in first, and now I'm switching to some heavier stuff, and as the night progresses, it'll get to like imperial stouts, and then it'll be night time, and
and then you'll be sleeping, right. I started tonight, gentlemen, with it's called Blueberry Boyfriend. I saw it in the package store, if you will. It's brewed down there in Oklahoma. It is tot, as we would say here in Rhode Island. I'm gonna take a
wicked
really
hot. It's wicked hot, man.
Oh my God, I'd say like a 6 at least on the pucker factor.
maybe even higher.
Says Costas. But my main drink for the evening, all Citra everything by the other half. Delicious, beautiful double IPA, golden, delicious, full of Citra everything that Costas says.
The thing about that sour, we sipped it out of the can and it tasted very metallic.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So I'm not a big fan of like drinking beers out of a can. It tastes like metal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a thumbs up for me.
No.
But anyways,
just what it is. Pull it off. And I was intrigued by the can and the mention of
was it the boyfriend the boyfriend part? Is that what
the boyfriend part? That made me think of you for some reason, Ed, and I'm like, I gotta grab that.
You know. So, Justin.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about you here for a minute. The star, the man of the hour, and I got to ask you, how long you been doing this game?
Oh boy. All right, professionally or personally?
all of the above.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, go all around.
So I had really cool parents that a lot of people would say were neglectful. And I grew up in a very small town in upstate New York, and around the age of, what's that?
I'm assuming you're Gen Z. You're like around the same age as we are.
No, I'm 39. I'm a little before that, but
okay.
So I found out at 17 in New York, where you can't buy beer at a gas station, but if you go to a restaurant supply store, the guy there will sell you a homebrew kit. So I spent some money on that. My parents found out, and they had a pretty cool reaction, which was you can drink it, but only if you make it. So that led to me being very popular for a little while.
Wow!
I made
Mom, what the fuck? No,
I made the worst beer ever. It was
yeah.
absolutely disgusting. Looking back, I'm ashamed of myself. But we're all in high school and going into college early on, so it sort of became that weird little side passion of mine for a while. And then I spent a long time working in live music, doing sound and lighting for like corporate events, arenas, stuff like that. And then, through a chain of random events, I went back to college. And in the meantime, I got a part-time job at a local brewery. And, probably 6 months into that, I had dropped out of college and I was making beer full-time.
Nice.
And that was 13, 14 years ago, I think.
That's awesome, dude. Making beer full-time. That's amazing.
It's still, to this day, insane to me that it keeps the lights on. And like, what? People still pay me to do this? This is bad shit. But yeah.
But the fact that you had such cool, supportive parents at 17 years old.
Yeah.
If my parents taught me making beer, like my mom would have taken the wooden fork and spoon off the wall and beat my ass.
Yeah, I mean, to their credit, this kit made maybe 24 bottles, and it was like, at the time, the instructions that didn't really exist in the open internet, it took a month to make this thing. So it was like, well, if we got to deal with 4 6-packs every month or so, like, I think we can handle this. And we didn't drink all of it because, like I said, it was just god awful. Like, it was so bad.
What kind of beer was it? Do you remember?
The first one I vividly remember, actually. It was the Muntins English Stout kit. Ooh. And it was a big tin can full of wort extract with the yeast taped to the top of it.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I saw one
do not lose.
A few years ago. We were in Chicago and they had a beer exhibit at a museum, and they actually had one of those cans in the exhibit, and I was like, that's what I did.
Doesn't that make you feel a little old when all of a sudden you're realizing that your childhood is now in a museum?
But let me ask you, what was the first beer that you made that was like, wow, this is good?
Again, I'm thinking like personally or professionally. Personally,
both. All right, go both on this one.
Okay, the personal one's exciting. The professional one's boring as shit.
So let's do personal one.
So the personal one, was actually it was around the time that like Australian hops had kind of exploded.
I love it.
And it was like impossible to get. Like there were limits at homebrew stores. You could buy 4 ounces at a time, kind of thing. And I did a pale ale with Nelson Sauvin.
Right.
And I used, actually, there was a company that was harvesting and selling Killer Bee honey at the time. So it was Killer Bee honey with Nelson Sauvin that was, not necessarily a new hop at the time, but very much new to the industry, where like it wasn't available for just people to go to a store and buy. Mm-hmm. That was kind of the first time that like I made a beer and I was like, holy shit, this is actually pretty good. Mm-hmm. The professional answer, the boring answer, the one that I would honestly talk about until the day's end, a Pilsner. 100% Pilsner malts, Czech Saaz hops.
Nice.
With lager yeast.
Classic.
You can't put enough time and attention into those. And, I'm sure anyone watching that knows me has heard me say this 1,000 times, but nobody hates my beer more than I do. And the Pilsner is sort of this, this mountain that you climb where every single thing matters every step of the way. And if you somehow manage to check all those boxes, that simple, boring beer, the goal of making this, crushable yellow liquid kind of becomes worth it to me. It's such a delicate thing where if you fuck up any step of the way, that's all you're going to taste. So that's The first time I inhaled a Pilsner was really, I was like, just the world got quiet for that pint, you know.
I mean, we've talked to dozens of brewmasters and brewery owners, and I think that we've like come to the conclusion that
that's the standard.
Pilsner is like the gold standard that like everybody measures the next brewer by. Like there's nothing, you can't hide behind stuff like that. It's just raw. It's out there, and either you did it right or you didn't do it right. It's just naked beer.
Mm-hmm.
There's no fruits to it. There's no like sourness. There's no flavors to like. It's a beer.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't a beer, right?
Yeah.
What
are you good for?
The thing is the thing about a Pilsner is that you can't dry hop it again. Like the secret weapon for a lot of these is like, well, this IPA is a little rough, but we could just dry hop it again and you can bury a lot of it. But this, the clarity, the color, the flavor, and a good Pilsner, it's not a boring beer. It's incredibly complex. There's a lot of things where like you can kind of taste the steps that went into it and the way the hop oils interact with the flavors. You can kind of almost taste the different crops year to year of the hops. You can, for like me anyway, I'm like, I can kind of get an idea of how that farm reacted that year to weather based off the grain, because you're literally tasting one grain, one hop.
Wow.
Swiss lager yeast that by definition, doesn't really lend a lot to the beer, but more to the process of like where it ends.
Wow.
I love a good Pilsner. Absolutely love it. Because like you said,
I mean, it's kind of like cooking. Like you can't, like there's certain dishes that are super simple, and if you screw up any step, it's not going to come out right. It's amazing when done correctly and done perfectly. But then if you get some kind of balance, like if you're out of balance on anything, then the dish is just, you can't recover.
Right.
You can't hide. You can add like different seasonings to it, different spices. You can try different, adding different ingredients to it. But in the end, you're just masking what you did. Right. So it's not, it's not perfect.
Right. For sure. Justin, so professionally, Rejects is your first beer venture, or is this? Yeah.
No, so I'm actually I'm not even an owner. I'm the one full-time employee in the company.
Okay.
So I've bounced around quite a bit. So the first brewery job I ever had was the second year that Foolproof was open.
Okay.
Yeah, I worked with those guys for a little bit. Then I ended up with the Sons of Liberty crew for a little while. I did some beer portfolio development stuff with them. Had a couple of distilled products get full release. Then after that, I actually designed and built the entirety of Apponaug Brewing. So the brewery side of that place, 3 feet under the ground to above the ceiling. They trusted me to design and build that system. Wow. So I did that over about a year and a half. I did a few years with them, and then kind of fell into the Rejects crew after that, and that's been the last 6 years or so.
Wow. So you've gotten around the craft beer community for sure.
Yeah. Spent 4 years on the board of directors for the Brewers Guild. Still got scars from that. That's politics.
So let me ask you that. This is a topic that's come up a lot in conversation between us, between Costas and myself. Anyway, you see so many breweries like lately in Rhode Island coming and going. What is it that you think that keeps the survivors surviving and thriving, and the ones that are failing? What prevents them from like exceeding, what expectations or whatever? What are your thoughts on that?
Man, it's a loaded question. I think the answer honestly isn't that exciting. It's that, it's at the end of the day, it's everyone's running a small business. And small business, now more than ever is goddamn impossible.
Right.
Rising costs, things like that. There's, you kind of have to treat that on a case by case basis. I wouldn't necessarily say that Rhode Island's a direct reflection on a global trend. We all know that, beer's down, liquor's down, wine's down. fewer people are drinking. The number isn't as severe as the headlines are suggesting, but it's true that people are drinking less. And the part that they're kind of leaving out is that consumers are generally being more selectful about where their money's going.
Yes.
So while a lot of people aren't going to go down to their local spot and crush a bunch of PBRs as often as they would, when they do spend that money, it's going to be on something a little more valuable, due to an occasion, a holiday, things like that. And I think a lot of companies tend to try to please too many people at once. And in doing that, you kind of alienate everyone that's looking for your beer. I don't know. I'm not sure that actually answered it, but that's where my head's at with it.
So I gotta say,
I think that we've talked about it like many a times, and we've talked about like a brewery has become a destination. Like, if we're going there, like first and foremost, it's a brewery.
Yeah.
So it's got to have great beers. If it ain't got great beers, we're not going there to begin with. But then when we get there, how are you going to keep us there? So there's got to be, it becomes a destination. Like sometimes entertainment, right? And then also food. Like if I'm hungry and there's no food, I'm drinking, so I'm going to get hungry. And now there's no food there. I'm like, well, if there's not a food truck or there's not food at the location, I may have to go somewhere to eat something, and I may not come back.
Right.
Or like if I'm just sitting there drinking beers, but like there's like musical trivia or bingo or
keep in
something to keep me entertained.
Yeah.
So these things do help. I think, but in the long run, in my humble opinion, I think that it comes down to the beers. It's great to have all these extra, things going on, but if the beer is not that great, and we are in Rhode Island, so anything longer than 20 minutes, people will have to get out of that mindset. Like we love rejects,
right?
But it's like, I gotta go over a bridge. So like people in Rhode Island have to get over that mentality.
Right. East Bay and West Bay is not like hundreds of miles apart.
It's still in the same state. It's not like we're going to another country or another state or like, you can do it if you believe in yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sorry. I'm going to derail this for 2 seconds. I
do it.
Did not imagine the timing on this and the fact that the sun's setting behind me. I'm going to turn on a light.
Okay,
yeah, that's fine.
There we go.
So Costas, though, you were saying, the beers have to be there. Obviously, the beers have to be there, I think.
Right.
But even the best beer in the world isn't going to save a bad environment. You walk in and you're uncomfortable. I don't care how good your beers are. I'm not staying around. But, I'm looking, Justin, at the website. I got to read this out because I thought this was absolutely fantastic. So this is I think one of the perfect ways to describe Rejects when you walk in there. So it says, we're the kind of place where you feel just as comfortable bringing a Tinder date as you would your grandma. Expect a nostalgic vibe reminiscent of your single uncle's 80s basement, complete with punk rock and hip hop playing in the background, and a friendly, down-to-earth local staff.
Right. That's exactly why I assumed that you were Gen X because it reminded me of being in my grandparents' basement. I'm listening to Wu-Tang and Pearl Jam at the same time and playing on a Nintendo 64 or something like that and drinking beer. I'm like, this brings me back to being like 16.
But you know what though? You walk in and you're immediately comfortable though.
Right. It's warm, it's welcoming, the music is great, the atmosphere is great, the beers are great. So it's like Rejects is just on point.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's a dive spot that's, I would say, welcoming to all because it's not one of those places where you can tell walking in the door that this is just locals.
I mean, that's 100% what we're going for sure. I mean, it's a lot of it's definitely nostalgia bait, but at the end of the day, it's all stuff that we're authentically very much into. Like you're not going to walk in there and hear or see something that, we play bizarre movies all day. And I guarantee if you ask the bartender any detail about it, it's because they picked it and they'll tell you who directed it and why that's was shot that way.
Yeah.
It's very much, it's kind of off the cuff and freestyle in a lot of ways, but, we appreciate it. We surround ourselves with creatives. I mean, half the people that work there are musicians. They all play in different bands around the state.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we make sure to kind of encourage that. We put on a lot of shows. You know, we've had bands play in that room that we had no business whatsoever booking, that should have never agreed to these shows, that I still have no idea how we got.
The thing is that goes with your brand, your rejects, right?
Yeah.
Your rejects. Yeah. I think that's why, like, we are rejects, and I think that's like why when we go there, we feel like we're at home. Like it's a warm, welcoming space. We grab a beer and we sit in the back and like we play video games. And
I do think that Buddy has actually tried to like snuggle up and take a nap behind the bar. I could see
it. Well, he almost broke the Super NES, and I had almost to replace it with one of mine. But,
guys, in the future, there's actually a room upstairs with a couch where several of us have spent the night. So
boys and girls
gotta sleep one off sometimes. You know,
it's literally we have a hangover couch in a room upstairs.
You know, so you know, being that eclectic space, you know, of varying nerddom and awesomeness. You know, what influences the beer menu? Because I'm looking at least at what's on the site. I don't know. Hopefully, I don't know if it's up to date or not, but it's kind of like all over the place.
I can almost assure you that it's not up to date. What influences the beer? I mean, you know, there's the staples that you have to have. I always say like there's got to be something light, something dark, something hoppy, something fruity. You know, just to cover all your bases. But you know, occasionally you get to throw some wild card stuff in. I don't necessarily have, you know, it sounds kind of shitty, but like, we're by the beach in Newport, so there are beers that I'm required to have.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, we have people taking cruise ships in that grab Ubers to come over and drink some beers, and unfortunately, a lot of tourists want one beer, and it's the exact beer they can get at the brewery in their hometown, wherever they're from. Yep. So you know, like the light lager, love that beer, love making it, but you know, that's a huge one that I fully understand that I'm required to have. You have to have a light crusher. It's summertime.
Yeah.
Honestly, a lot of it's just sort of batshit crazy ideas that I scribble down or have on a note on my laptop of, you know, it's not necessarily about the final product, but more about like a process I haven't tried before. You know, we have a seasonal, like a spiced brown ale on right now. Spiced brown ale. Immediately, I'm like, this beer's not going to sell. Like, I know that. It's not going to be a huge winner for us. But at the same time, the idea was, you know, I was going to employ some newer techniques in terms of how to translate spices into that beer, combined with some older mash techniques of different step mashing procedures that, you know, I haven't done with a lot of beers. And it ended up being this kind of really cool, happy accident where, like, if we can convince somebody to order a pint, they're going to finish the pint and order a second one. But when you say spiced brown ale...
No, the three of us, you had as a brown ale.
I thought it was really good, Justin. I had a bunch of
That's awesome.
A few weeks ago, a bunch of them.
Yes.
So there's one here,
delicious. Brown ale's not popular in breweries around Rhode Island. You see a few of them, but it's nice to see and be able to try embellish deeply in brown ales.
It's cool to have the tank space to just, you know, every once in a while be able to kind of throw some wild card in the mix just to see what it does, you know.
Yep.
I got to ask you, I'm looking at one here, and I got to say, I don't know of any other place in the state, you know, let alone maybe the area that's doing this, but you have on here Fourth Beach hard iced tea.
Yep.
Is that playing to the particular tourist crowd? Is it
so there's
that, you know, I don't know anybody that's done a hard iced tea, and they can be done right.
Yeah, so there was some debate and me fighting with some other people in the place about making hard seltzers, because frankly we're not necessarily outfitted with the equipment to do it correctly, and I'd rather not do something at all than do a shitty version of something. And you know, we've done some hard seltzers here and there, and like they were fine, they sold okay. You know, like I said, I'm not happy with anything I make, but you know, those ones I'm like, I feel like this isn't the move. So the sort of compromise was like, was like, hard iced teas are kind of blowing up right now, and I've literally never made one. So let's try it out, like see what happens. And the Fourth Beach name is because in Newport there's first, second, and third beach, and then a couple of years ago we all set up a giant kiddie pool in the parking lot unannounced to anyone, and we're drinking beers in it, and we decided it was called Fourth Beach.
Fourth Beach, that's epic.
So that's where that came from, but it was cool. I honestly I really enjoyed how the product came out. I think I still have a couple in my fridge downstairs right now, honestly. But we did a raspberry variant of it, and it was rad. It came out at the perfect time. Like it was definitely like a huge hit in the summer. We were getting people taking down to the beach. I'm not responsible for what happens after that.
No, that's just it, so
yeah.
We're all adults, right? You guys brewed like a month ago a maple ale. Oh, where did I go? Oh no!
I got you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You guys brewed a maple ale. Oh, there I am again, and it was absolutely tremendous. Did you guys actually put like maple syrup? Oh,
yeah,
maple syrup in that, and how much? Like, you can still hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta plug it in, dude. Hold on.
Plug it in.
Obviously, his headset was malfunctioning. His operator error.
It's all right.
Only the top-notch skills.
Was that just like pale ale? Was it like a whole bunch of maple syrup dumped in there? What was the story with that stuff?
So so that one is it's actually an English porter based, and we used real maple syrup.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Can you hear me now?
We can't hear him.
Yeah.
We can't. Oh, Ed, can you hear me, Ed?
We got you.
No, Ed can't hear us either.
Yes, Ed can.
Here we go again.
Ed can hear you.
How about now, guys?
Yes.
Yep.
We haven't.
Ed can hear me now. You just busted my balls, you assholes.
No, nobody's busting.
We can hear you,
dude.
You can hear me fine.
Yes. I don't hear you, but I can hear you.
What's going on?
Ed? Can you hear us?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Ed says he can hear us, but we can't hear them.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I'm just gonna plug that. How about now? We good?
Yeah. Everybody can hear except Buddy. You're right, Mark. Everybody can hear except Buddy.
But you can't hear Buddy.
You can't hear Buddy.
Listen, I swear to God, folks, you can't make this stuff up. It's like vaudeville.
Buddy versus the internet
vaudeville, but it's like vaudeville.
Hey Ed, can you hear Buddy? Speak.
Yes.
Okay. So all right. So maple ale. Justin, what did you guys just dump a whole bunch of maple syrup in there? What's the story with that? How did you go about doing that?
It's real maple syrup. It was added in secondary into the bright. And then we also used, shout out to anyone that crosses bridges, it was 20 pounds of no vacancy coffee, relatively new coffee roaster kind of near the brewery in Middletown. And these make some of the absolute most fantastic coffees you've ever had. So yeah, we partnered up with them for that too.
Nice.
Great. I was thrilled.
Wow. Yeah, no, that was like a nice like end of the winter sweet pancakes and beer, and yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed it tremendously.
So speaking of teaming up, I know we've talked a lot about how food keeps people in the seats, food keeps people drinking. So you guys do food trucks. I know there's a certain place maybe upstairs, downstairs, around the corner, next door, what?
Yeah, so we partner up with Diego's next door for the majority of it. I mean, there's, within walking distance of the brewery, there's a ton of really awesome options that all deliver, Quidnick Pizzas across the street. You have Atlantic Grill, that's, the best place to sneak out for a Bloody Mary if you're having an especially rough brew day, stuff like that. But yeah, there's a bunch of options, and again, you're right on Easton's Pond, so you're kind of overlooking the water when you're outside, so the environment's cool.
People don't seem to realize that there's some really good Mexican down in Newport in that area.
Yeah.
So personally, whenever we have somebody coming in from out of town, work related or whatever, hey, if you like Mexican, great. Perro Salado, boom.
Yep.
Over there.
Perro's great.
That place, I swear, we love what you're doing. We're not going to talk about it too much. because the more tourists that are filling up that place, I'm gonna lose my mind.
F them guys.
Because that's one of those places where it's kind of tucked away just in the right little spot where if you don't know it's there, you're gonna drive by it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep it that way.
Yeah, their brunch is incredible.
Oh, food there is so good, so good. You know, beer, food, pairings. What do you think is the perfect marriage of food and beverage?
I think it's an incredibly subjective preference.
Okay, yours.
I tell all our bartenders, I'm like, look, I'm not saying lie, but be honest. Because if you ask what beer goes good with spicy wings, the Pilsner, the IPA, and the coffee stout are all correct answers. Yeah. They all kind of lend themselves in a very specific way. For me, if I'm going like beer and food pairing, I mean, again, I'm going to go real boring. I do it. Pilsner and nachos. A lot of light beer pairings tend to do well for me. If I'm going anything else, I'd go, just a straight up stout and a steak. Dark beers for me tend to lend awesome for like a lot of grilled meats, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Barbecue things more.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Definitely. Me, anybody that knows me knows that I've never passed up pizza. So, any pizza and a Pilsner, I'm a happy man right there. So,
I literally, you can't really see it too well, but I have the Genesee Cream Ale logo tattooed on my hand.
That's awesome.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome, buddy. What about you, man? What's your go-to marriage of food and drink?
You talking to me?
Yes, buddy.
All right, well, perfect, because I was thinking about this while you're talking to Justin about this. Barbecue anything and like Rausch beer for sure, dude. In starting the show, I didn't even realize it was a thing, that it was a kind of beer. And then I had it, I'm like, oh my God.
I want another one.
Phenomenal. And then Costas makes everything like awesome. So putting those two beers together, putting that beer in like some like great like barbecue stuff together. Oh my God, kid. Fantastic. Costas?
Oh, well, I'm a little more complex. So, I'm a seasonal kind of guy.
By complex, he means difficult.
He's Greek, boys and girls. Go on.
Now, listen, I grew up in the back of a pizza shop. What can I say? So food is life, right? So it depends, like, on what you're cooking and what season it is and what you're going to pair with it. Like, okay, so, like, for instance, like, to say nachos. So, like, if I'm doing something spicy or whatever, like, if I'm doing nachos, maybe I would do, like, said like a pollo picante from Smug that had like.
But they're dead, so you can't do them anymore.
I have several cans left.
That space is coming back. You guys love it.
Yes, and we've already been talking with them a little bit here and there, and
so
we have it.
Like you were saying, like in the fall, say like in the fall, right? Like if we're talking like October, November, right? So we're doing lots of smoked meats or whatever. Yeah, so we'll do a Rausch beer. Or like a brown ale, a Marzen, things with lots of malt and sweet in there to kind of go with that smokiness of all those meats and cheeses and all that other stuff. So
yes,
in the summertime, okay, burgers and dogs, I gotta go with like a classic lager, maybe like a Sam Summer, like
light beer is a key in the summer for sure.
Raspberry wheat, fruited ales.
Wheat beer.
So I think that like for every season and every food, there's a beer that pairs with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we've done ice cream and beer pairings.
Right.
And you wouldn't think that like, okay, a coffee ice cream with chocolate chips and all that stuff to go with a coffee stout. Right. There's coffee in each of them, so it plays off of each other. So it's a great combination.
Rice Krispies and a breakfast stout.
Dude, I've had beer that tasted exactly like Lucky Charms, and they actually floated the marshmallows on top of this green sour that was phenomenal. It was in Richmond, Virginia.
I gotta go. No.
I was like, he's done. That's it.
No, I'm kidding.
Show's over, folks. We're all heading out there.
Yeah. So it's a Lops Brewing. It's their peanut butter imperial stout coming in at an 8.2.
Justin says taking a step up in the ABVs.
Dude, it's been a long day at work. So when we get off camera, it'll be Woodward Reserve time. So
I'm looking at the can art on the site again because obviously I haven't been down there in a little bit, but I gotta say that they're pretty awesome, and my wife would probably end up grabbing like half the ones I'm looking at here to go just based off the can art. She is a sucker for can art.
Yeah, we got a cool graphic designer. He's absolutely insane. I'm confident in saying the man is certified insane.
It's nice. You got to be a little crazy.
We like insane.
Insanity is good, and artists that are crazy are even better. For
Personally,
sure.
My favorite is the 6-string samurai. You know?
Have you seen the movie it's referencing?
No.
So 6-String Samurai is a movie that came out in the late 90s.
Uh-oh.
You can watch it. You can watch it for free on YouTube, and it's Buddy Holly has to fight his way across the desert to replace Elvis Presley as the king of Las Vegas.
Holy shit!
And I'm going to tell you guys right now, this movie absolutely sucks. It's terrible. But for all of those reasons, it is absolutely incredible.
Wow,
it's maybe an hour and a half. It is free on YouTube. 6-String Samurai. It is a brilliant work of art that has gone extremely unappreciated.
It's like Buckaroo Banzai.
Exactly. It's exact vibe.
Yeah. It's like Buckaroo Banzai.
We love cheesy 80s and
you guys are gonna love this. There's this surf rock band from California called the Red Elvises that the whole soundtrack. There's samurai fight sequences with different like desert dwelling people. Like it's batshit, and we all fell in love with the movie. And Dave and I would play it on the big screen when we were canning beers all the time.
Oh my god!
Became like we have to make this a beer.
Yeah.
Oh yes. I know what I'm doing this weekend.
You guys have to message me after you watch this movie because I'm dying to know what you think.
Oh, I can't wait.
I'm gonna go home and smoke a big joint and watch this because it sounds like a big joint kind of movie.
Perfect. Yes.
Well, that's like any Bruce Campbell movie.
Oh yeah.
The first time.
You saw Fritz the Cat.
It's been a while, of course.
Fritz the Cat.
Ninja Scroll.
Fritz the Cat's wild. Yeah, Bruce Campbell. I mean, I watch Army of Darkness probably every 3 months.
Great movie.
First time I watched it, me and my buddy were, of age, but we were clearly hammered. And my wife's sitting there who doesn't really drink, and she's just listening to us go groovy like every 2 seconds. And she's like, "Shut the hell up!" It was like, "Oh yeah, this is gonna be a fun night." So, yeah, I love that cheesy stuff though. It's just some of them are just it's so bad they're funny.
Yeah, we're literally, dude, we're a room full of old punk rock nerds. That's literally Rejects Beer distilled into a sentence. Is we're all just like we're gonna have staunch opinions about which Black Flag record's better, and then we're all gonna watch the same shitty movies all the time. We've been on a oh my god, what's the series we've been watching? What's the plane?
Oh,
Fantasy Island.
Yeah.
Fantasy Island.
Yes.
Yeah, for like the last month, we started Fantasy Island from season 1, episode 1, and that's been the trend.
What was it?
The crazy part is we're like wildly invested at this point. We're like,
what was his name? Tattoo?
Tattoo, yeah.
Yeah, Tattoo, yeah.
Fun fact, we looked this up. The actor who played Tattoo, strapped the entire time. That dude had a gun on him at all times. Every single scene, that dude's got a pistol strapped to his neck.
Wow.
Yeah, he was paranoid.
It had to be like 22. Couldn't be a big one because, I mean, the guy's like...
No, I'm sure it was small, but yeah, the guy had a gun on him at all times. He was also like 37 when that series started.
The plane, boss, the plane.
Yeah.
Oh man, that reminds me of a Simpsons episode with what's the kid's name at school that's always getting beat up, the chess nerd there, and they reveal that he's actually like some cop in his 30s. I can't can't think of the damn kid's name.
No.
Oh. Anyway, they end up revealing that he's actually like in his 30s, and he's like, I'm the only one who can pass as a 10-year-old. So they need me in there. And he's going home to his wife and kid after he gets off the bus. I can't think of the kid's name, but anyway.
I got one for you. I got it for Christmas. I think it was all of the seasons. I'm not really sure, but Real American Hero.
Oh, jeez. Hero. Oh, yeah, dude. The guy has like the perm and everything,
Yeah, the guy had the blonde curly afro, and he wore like the red jumpsuit. He was like
that his mom made up.
No, dude. When you said that, I thought that beer commercial, Real American Hero.
I'm saving it right now.
Bro, what are you doing?
I don't know, man. What are you talking about?
You gotta watch Airwolf. You gotta watch like Real American Hero, like Big Trouble in Little China. Like
I have Big Trouble in Little Chinatown is a great film.
Speaking of tattoos, I literally have a John Carpenter tattoo on this arm. Like I'm Big Trouble in Little China fan.
Russell, we talking about the same? Yeah, all right. I've seen that. I own that on DVD somewhere.
Let's see if I can.
Good times.
80s and 90s were the best. And that's why we love Rejects, because it's like being back in the 80s or 90s. I can go in there and I can play on a
Nintendo, yeah. I was playing Mike Tyson's Punch-Out the last time.
Yeah,
there we go.
Wait, dude.
So
this right here, buddy. Throw that on up there.
Oh yeah.
Trying something new tonight. There it is. The greatest.
Oh, yes.
I'm sorry. I said the Real American Hero, but the greatest American Hero.
Greatest American Hero.
Yes.
That's a little different.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got, the fro on there is just magnificent.
It's epic. Yeah.
And he wore like this red jumpsuit and had like a red cape, and he flew around like saving the world.
Right.
That haircut looks expensive.
Biggest geek.
He said dork. Oh God. So getting back to some beers here.
Yes.
We ask this of everybody, and I'm not going to accept anything but an answer. So, the beer are like your children. Pick your favorite kid. The others are gone.
Favorite kid. Oh, boy. It's funny you phrase it like that, because every time somebody asks me what's your favorite beer, I go, that's like picking a favorite child, and now I have to.
We need you to do it.
I am time and time again in the last 6-ish years of working for Rejects, it's our cream ale. It's the locals only cream ale.
It was good.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
It was good.
That's the one that I continually find myself just and again, like, I'm not about to sit here and try to explain to you how passionate I am about cream ales, because it's a boring beer by design.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the one that I consistently find myself going back to. As a native upstate New Yorker, as someone who was raised on Genesee cream ale, that was unabashedly my plan, was to rip them off and get as close as I could to that beer, because we don't have that here. So I'm almost like, it's a Jenny cream ale, but it's classy. I can tell you the farm that grew the grain. I know the person that grew the I understand the reputation, but hear me out. This cream ale is a little different in that it's not.
I love cream ales.
Dude, I in the last 2 years since we started the show, I always thought that people would like say cream ale, like customers say, oh, they got a great cream ale, and automatically my brain would switch to like cream soda. Like, oh, cream soda is fucking gross. I don't want any of that shit. And then I actually tried a cream ale. I'm like, wow, this is pretty good. Like, what have I been doing all these years? It's such a great beer style.
It's such a convoluted, misguided history of a beer. So, like, the early 1800s, we get an influx of German immigrants, and the first thing they do is go, hey, we should make some beer. And so they ask everyone here, like,
welcome to America.
Where are all of your premium grains? And they go,
yeah,
what? We have corn.
We feed that stuff to the cows.
And they're like, shit, okay, I guess we'll use the corn and mix it in with whatever grains we can get. And it's like, well, obviously you guys have like means to age these beers, maybe underground somewhere cool so we could lager them. And they're like, nope.
What?
Welcome to hell, dum-dums. And
welcome to the land of ale.
So they did what they could with what they had and created something kind of reminiscent of a German lager. But then, it exploded because why wouldn't it? And one of the first major ad campaigns referred to it as, so-and-so ale, the cream of the crop ale. So as a result, everyone ran to their local pubs and asked for the cream ale. And that's it. Like, there's no correlation between cream and ale. It's just a few dumb ad campaigns dictated the first ever American-centric beer style that was ever produced here. And it's just so silly.
That's a great history, man. I think that's a unique story.
Yeah.
You think of German. I think of German beers, and in my mind comes up a large mug with like the yellowest beer possible, and a girl with like large breasts serving it to me. I don't know. Well, let me play that out, Ed. What do you got here? I don't know why, but that's what I think of automatically.
The Bavarian barmaid.
Yeah, I think of Oktoberfest.
Yeah, there's the Americanization of it where they always kind of lean into Oktoberfest, which even the history of that's hilarious. It's a 9-day party because someone was getting married and they just decided to party for 8 more days.
And they weren't Irish; they were German, which is crazy. Yeah. Go on.
And it was literally like by the end of it, they're like, "Well, we're all basically dead, but we should do this next year."
I guarantee that they were happy.
Yeah.
Right.
So, so it's funny too because we can get some Genesee here, but like I've never seen the cream milk.
So you got to go to Fall River.
Fall River, okay.
A very good friend of mine was a beer rep in South Coast, Mass, and one of his beers in his portfolio for the wholesaler was Genesee, and he goes, "Did you know that the South Coast, Mass is actually a massive place for sales for Genny Cream Ale?" And I was like, "Dude, why haven't I seen it?" And it's because all the Portuguese restaurants use it to beer batter fish. It's incredibly cheap. Like I bought a half barrel for my house years ago, and I will not tell you what it cost because it was basically free. Like I thought,
not if it's $20.
It was. I want to say like before the keg deposit, it was like $42 or something.
Oh my god!
But yeah, it's apparently that's like the primo beer to beer batter fish. They sell tons of it in Fall River.
Well, do you like back at like when my family had the restaurants and stuff? Like I'm when I was a kid, right? So we're going back to like the 80s or whatever, and like when we were making like beer batter fish and chip, like. We would go to the liquor store like next door or whatever, and you'd get the white cans that had 4 black letters on it, and it said BEER. It was a white can.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
And I think it was like maybe like 50s or like $1 for like a 6-pack or something like that. Like I don't even know how. And they were still selling it and somehow made money. Again, this is the 80s, so they had beer in white can. Black letters just said beer on it. It had like a U.S. government warning, and I think that was about it.
Probably not even that.
Cheapest beer you could get, and that's what we used for making fish and chips because it was beer back.
Right? It was probably pretty good too.
I made phenomenal fish and chips or whatever, but drinking it was like skunk piss. I mean, shit. There you go.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
that's pretty good, Ed.
So
you're right there, man.
We've had a couple comments, but Jim, hey Jim, Mark. Glad to have you guys. Jim was asking what you were drinking. I guess he missed that part, but
me,
Justin, Justin.
Yeah. So I have since completed it, but a very good friend of mine who works at the brewery brought me a Allagash Resurgam. That was where I started, and I have since shifted to one of my own, the Rejects Coconut Porter.
Nice. Oh, coconut porter. Oh, I love me some coconut porter. Coconut, it's. I think that's another one of those flavors that people either love it or they hate it.
It's divisive. It's
Yeah.
really easy to overdo, and like the nothing to sunscreen ratio is very
Yeah.
short. Like
It's like copper tone.
So I got a question for you. Going back to the cream ale, what exactly defines a cream ale? What makes a cream ale cream ale?
Right.
so, it's
There's no cream in it, right?
no. So effectively, like the cream portion came from like the ad campaign that they did in the I want to say late 1800s, where they just referred to this new light pale crisp beer as the cream of the crop. And that sort of stuck, and it became the definition of what that is. There's probably conflicting websites about it, but the general consensus is it was a few ad campaigns from some breweries that were trying to sell this new beer that's not a German Pilsner, it's not a lager, it's an ale that's 20% corn to kind of offset it because of like what you could get here at the time. So yeah, they kind of landed there.
So is it the corn that gives the beer the sweetness that you would normally expect from a cream ale?
Not even really. I mean, they're generally not a super sweet beer. You'll get a little bit of like a sweeter, grainier profile, but it's literally just sort of the connotation from the ad campaign that happened, where they just they kept hearing like the cream of the crop ale, and people in the bars were like, "Give me the cream ale," and that's sort of where it started.
Which is,
I'm seeing a couple things up there, and one of them is
love cream ale.
Yeah, cream ale is delicious. I actually was at Burgundian. I don't know if you're familiar with that place, Justin, in Attleboro, Massachusetts.
Oh yeah,
and they had Genesee cream ale. I'm like, really, Genesee cream ale? I'm like, I got to try that. It was so damn good. And I was shocked because I don't really associate Genesee with like being great beer. So I don't know. Maybe it was just.
And this isn't just because I'm an upstate New Yorker, but it plays in very heavily. I am a Genesee evangelist. Like I feel like that is one of the underrated macro breweries. They're not, but they're huge, but they're not like Budweiser huge. But they're one of the few that Saranac and Utica, New York, also like they're another brewery that like while a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people aren't going to really necessarily agree with the paths they've taken, the size they've become, but god damn it, they both make incredible beers.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I like Saranac for sure. They're
guys, we've got a mission now. So
what's that?
New York.
No, well, I mean, shit, I'm up for a road trip, but we've got to get our hands on some of the Genesee cream ale. I know, buddy, you've had it. Costas, have you had it?
Yeah.
I'm going to find them too, and I will jump back on specifically so we can all drink Jenny cream ales.
Oh, hell yeah. So I was like, I'm the only guy here who hasn't had it. Okay.
Actually, I'll get Ben from Moniker to do it too, because he's a fellow upstate New Yorker. And we're both like, we're pretty good friends, and we both worship that beer.
Listen, we're gonna make it happen. Yeah, I don't care if we do like a short, like 3-minute thing or something. We've got to make that happen now, because I haven't had it. I've never had that one.
It's
and I do like cream ales, but I've never had that.
Prepare to be
underwhelmed.
Yeah, honestly, like I'm building this up like your mind's gonna be blown, but you're gonna be like, this light
no beer epiphanies that day.
Yeah. It's not going to blow your mind or anything, but like
but there's something about it.
A good beer does not have to be pretentious.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be this God-given ritual of tasting it and drinking it and everything else. No, if it tastes good, it tastes good. I don't give a shit what it is. Yeah. If it's
Trust
good,
me,
it's good.
That's a dead horse I've been beating for years.
People, and I guarantee you. So I've done this with somebody, and I guarantee you could do this with a lot of folks. Some big, exactly. But if you get some big macro whatever, and you put it up side by side with something else, one, they're probably not going to know, and two, they're probably going to say that they liked it. It's like sometimes we just get that stigma, oh, it's Budweiser. Oh no, I'm kidding. You start turning the nose.
We all started off somewhere.
Yeah, dude, Buddy Light's right here.
So it was
from a Budweiser family.
Yeah,
it tastes good. It tastes good.
I'll tell you right now, I work in an industry where Budweiser has, in more recent years has eased up and been more approachable, but for a very long time I spent in the industry, Budweiser was actively trying to end it. And I'll tell you right now, Budweiser makes incredible beer. I can't argue the fact that they make scientifically perfect beer. Wow. And it's great every single time.
Well, that's just it. Yeah.
It is consistent.
You've got that consistency because they need to. And Jesus Christ. They've sold, how bad? I can't even begin to fathom how many beers this place has sold in their existence. They're doing something right because they're still here, folks. You haven't gotten rid of them. Now, personally, I used to drink them like crazy. That was my go-to.
Yeah.
When I was starting out, that was my go-to.
Bud heavies, Bud talls, yeah.
But I found that over time, if I have a Budweiser, I'm going to end up with a headache after that first bottle.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something about it that does not agree with me, and I'm going to end up with a freaking wicked headache. Go figure. I don't know. It's just one of those weird things.
Look, I'm not going to deter anyone from not drinking Budweiser.
Oh.
That's
right. I know.
At the end of the day.
I know. We're all gonna take down the man.
Yeah, I'm like, I also can't fault them for where they are. I'm like, they did a damn good job.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, folks,
to say otherwise,
it's a business. Yeah. They're there to make money. They're not giving it away.
If that's what you like to drink, then that's what you like to drink. More power to you. Who are we to judge anybody for drinking anything?
Right. I feel like I can't relate. Budweiser is like the conglomerate that was on TV when I was a kid, and they played the $1 million ads in the Super Bowl. I feel like as a
horses and dogs,
I feel like I can't relate to them because they're not so much like Treehouse. They're $1 billion brewery a year. God bless them. That's amazing. They were home brewers. I've had that beer for 10 years now, and it's been around for like maybe 15. And I just feel like more of a connection to these little brewers, honestly, in my state and just outside my state, because they started off like recently so small and made themselves big, or maybe just made themselves just able to keep their heads above water. But I don't know. Something about the big box brewers that just don't really do it for me anymore. While they can be consistent, it's just it's the same old shit,
I think we both completely agree on this. It'd be stupid of me to come on here and just be like, everybody go get some Bud Lights. That'll be cool. Like, no, I just it's
business.
Yeah. The further I'm in the industry, the less that I fault people for drinking macro beers. Look, I'll say this here. There's an 18-pack of Miller Lite in my fridge right now. And the way I refer to that beer is the beer that I don't have to think about.
Exactly.
I'm going to go clean up my backyard, and I'm going to grab 2 of those. Like
it's a day drinker.
Wow. Yeah. Got me drinking Coors.
I do have, I obviously have some issues with the way that AB InBev has conducted themselves. If you look back like 6 or 7 years ago, they bought all the hops in South Africa. And I don't mean they went in and bought a bunch of bags. They contracted all the hops in the entire country of South Africa because little tiny breweries were trying to buy them.
Trying to get hops. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Dave Witham, founder and owner of Proclamation, rest in peace. He was a very good friend of mine. And
I love him.
And I remember shouting about this with him, being like, it was wait, they bought the whole country? It was like that, where obviously that's some corporate bullshit. They're deliberately trying to hinder small businesses. I think
the man was trying to stick it to you.
Yeah, they in the last few years they've actually become a little more collaborative. They're kind of letting people into their supply chain a little more. I don't know. I don't really drink Budweiser, but
listen, the thing that gets me the most is you guys aren't going to take them down.
Right. It's I have my small little subsection of the world that I know Budweiser's not going to change.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that's kind of who I'm looking to hang out with, I guess. You know.
There's about 1,000 beer drinkers like Ed Costas and I, maybe within 50 miles radius of us, who would prefer to drink craft beer than drink like some shit that they'll buy from the liquor store. So,
for me,
there's
it's a
that
couple things. It's one, I know it's going to be fresh. I know this beer has not been sitting on the shelf, hopefully, for the last year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it's also, you know, big business versus small business, big guy versus little guy, David versus Goliath. You know, I would rather give my money to the guy that lives here trying to make ends meet and keep his family, you know, afloat than, you know, handing out $10 to somebody that's not even going to notice it.
Yeah. And for the record, gentlemen, thank you guys. Like, I don't think you realize like the awareness for what you're doing for the industry, especially during like kind of a really weird time right now. You know, like we're seeing metal costs, ingredients costs, stuff like that go through the roof. You know, like obviously like alcohol sales are down, and like it's kind of stuff like this that's important that, you know, we all keep doing. We just have like weird conversations on the internet.
Hey, yeah, Buddy is single-handedly trying to keep sales up.
It gives me the opportunity to talk about things that I love, beer, and talk to like great people like yourself, Justin, and explore like some of these avenues of how I'm drinking this beer, or why is this beer so fucking awesome, and like the shit at the liquor store is just like not this, you know. So
I can't go pick up a 6-pack of Bud Light and I can't speak to the owner and brewmaster.
Right.
I can't learn about the yeast strain. I can't learn about the noble hops and grains and the mash bill that was used.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's great to drink a Miller Lite, Bud Light, Coors Light, whatever it is.
Right.
But I can't go there and talk to the people and learn their story. That's the purpose of what we're doing.
Right.
Is to say, okay, I'm going to Lops and I'm going to talk to the person that made this. What's your inspiration? Like, why did you make this? How did you decide to come up with this? Like, I'm going to go to Tragmar, who is using Borealis coffee, and I'm going to talk to the dudes, and then, Borealis, like, I can go check out. It's like everything is so connected locally.
Right. Justin, you spoke about Dave Whittam from Proclamation.
Yep.
He had this beer. I've been drinking Proclamation for almost a decade. He had this beer called Process Progress back in the day. And it was like they changed like a little something. So they tweak a little something each time. And the beer kind of changes each time, every month or every 6 weeks or so. And it's something a little bit different each time. And a little bit different each time. It gets a little bit better or a little bit worse. Depends on how you like it. But I mean, it was just like seeing things like that. It's like you're seeing like a beer develop. You're seeing like the development of a taste profile just don't see with big box companies.
Coming from a restaurant background myself, and I'm interjecting here, but so you know, coming from pizza restaurants and like Mediterranean restaurants, right? So, are you ordering from Domino's or Papa John's, or are you ordering from like the guy down the street who has a small mom and pop pizza shop?
Kentucky House of Pizza.
Kentucky House of Pizza. You go to Santor. Like I'm off the Millsburg Ave, so there's like 18 places you can go to. Or are you ordering from a chain place?
Right.
So I'm going to equate Domino's to being like Domino's to pizza is like Bud Light to beer. So like, are you ordering shit that came like frozen and it's in a freezer somewhere, or like it's like pre-portioned, everything's weighed? I've worked in restaurants my whole entire life, but then you go to a mom and pop shop where like there's just this is their dream, like, and this is like their love put into this product.
Or like the beer evolves, or like the product evolves,
right?
And you're there for all the whole process of evolution. Right. I think that as a beer drinker, that like separates. You know,
when you go into a brewery, you get to have fresh beers. You get to talk to the bartender, beer tender, the owners, the brewmasters, and like you get to try like different things, like a Bud Light, a Bud Heavy, a Bud Light, a Bud Ice, a Bud Platinum, a Bud whatever.
Yeah.
Right. Like we go into like a certain brewery, like, oh my God, there's a stout, there's a sour, there's an IPA. Like all of those are all over the spectrum of beer. It's not going to taste like Bud Light, Heavy, Bud Light, Bud Ice, Bud Platinum. They're all going to taste like Bud
Completely
right?
different. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But when you try like there's it's over 150 styles of beer. So when you're trying like all these different styles, like you guys are like the Zen masters of beer, and like this is like bored. This is what they're putting out there. You get to try all these different things, and it's freaking amazing.
All right, so I see we're over time, but I also
it's past.
No. We have some important stuff to get to, don't we? Still,
you have milk and cookies.
There are questions to be asked. So, with that said,
what?
I gotta ask.
Is he buffering?
What's going on down there, Rejects? We've been hearing a lot of different things. We've been hearing openings, closings, shutting doors, buildings being sold. What's going on?
Yeah. So
TBD.
We're not dead yet. The building is currently for sale. There's been some convolutions in how things have been going, but this is not the last you're going to hear from us. There's a lot of plans in the works. Literally had a meeting last night about this very topic. So the real estate and the business are obviously two very different things, and the real estate is going in a different direction. It's sort of really too early to discuss, not because I can't, because like most of it I don't know, and it could just be wrong.
You don't have to tell us. We don't need to know.
If I knew, I would. But the reality of it is that there's some things in flux right now.
Right.
But there's extensive plans and meetings in the works and buildings we've been looking at,
nice.
And contingency plans along the way to make sure that there isn't stoppages. What I tend to tell people is it doesn't matter how focused I am with a project. I'm always thinking about the next one. So we're thinking about the projects right now, and when I know more, I'll tell you guys. But like I said, I'm the one full-time employee at Rejects Beer Co. I don't own the business or any of the properties. I'm the one that pressure washes it. So, but yeah, it's there's a lot of shit swirling right now, and it's like if I had to tell anyone, it's just like, just hang on. Like when I find out, I'll tell you. Like
we're hanging on, dude. We're hanging on.
Definitely hanging on, because I mean the place is awesome. Beers are awesome.
Yeah.
People are awesome. So
yeah,
great vibe. Let me just say this: for Newport, which is kind of like a town, it's a wicked good vibe in Rejects. I mean, we've covered the good vibe, but I'm just saying it's not like your normal Newport vibe.
Yeah. When we go to Rejects, we feel like we belong.
That's deliberate, and I really appreciate you guys saying that.
Absolutely.
So we appreciate the vibe and the culture and the tremendous beers that you guys bring to us in that location. So it's keep doing what you're doing, and we'll keep
Thank you.
And our friend here, Mark Ambrose, he made a few comments about the German beer. Mark has always said that Rejects Brewing is the best dive bar craft beer brewery in Rhode Island. It's so true. It's such an amazing.
It's a craft beer dive bar.
The best of both worlds, too.
So, folks, break that Rhode Island mentality. Cross the bridge. Get on over there. Hell, you can even go another way where you're not paying the toll. Just get there.
It's still there, guys. Diego's is a fine Mexican restaurant establishment. I would highly recommend eating.
The brisket nachos.
What's that?
Brisket nachos. That's the move.
We had, I swear to God, we were talking about, my wife and I were talking about the brisket nachos,
Dude,
literally like yesterday, because
So
we were
damn
like,
good.
the
you know
best
what?
thing on the menu.
Yeah.
I haven't had the whole menu, but like we were there during Labruski and
We're gonna have
like,
to
we were
try.
crushing beers, and we got the guac and we had like the brisket nachos, and it was like,
So
oh
damn
my
good.
God, like
So damn good.
it was really next level, and I was like, holy shit! Like I would just buy this by the pound if they sold it.
Side note, I have to meet this Mark Ambrose guy because I feel like every time I pull my phone out, he's posting pictures at like every brewery ever.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm surprised you don't have a something with Mark Ambrose, Justin. Oh my God, that starts me.
We'll have to the four of us will have to go down
We'll have
there.
to arrange a meeting for sure.
Yeah, Mark Ambrose meet and greet.
Meet and greet, yeah, but with beer is
The
going to have
mayor.
to be involved, of course. But
Yeah,
wow,
we'll have to make
Mark
it
is from Attleboro, and he drives all the way down to Newport just because of rejects. He doesn't go to any other shitty breweries in Newport. He just goes to rejects. And
no comment.
sorry about
different folks, different.
He goes to right. It's not in Newport; it's in Portsmouth. But in all fairness, great brewery. But Mark is a great guy. He's a great proponent for Rhode Island craft beer in the scene and all the people that are involved. So yeah, definitely run out there and find Mark in the wild somewhere. Yeah. You can't be rewarded now for it because somebody else did that. But yeah, Mark is always out and about.
We're gonna drag his ass down there.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're the four of us are gonna have to meet up.
We'll kidnap Mark and we'll take him to Newport.
Give me like a 24-hour heads up so I can make sure I'm there.
Yeah, we'll throw him in the trunk.
Definitely.
It'll be a good time. Yeah.
You know, so folks, it goes both ways. We got to get across that bridge, and if you live on the island, I swear to God, you can leave. You're not gonna die if you cross the threshold of Aquidneck Island.
Go to the side, guys. Go to Providence. You don't have to pay any toll. Fuck the toll.
So anyway, Justin, I gotta say, man, thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Putting up with our shenanigans.
I'm sorry it took like 8 different attempts. It happened to line up at the worst times for me, but I'm glad I did it.
Oh, dude, yeah. Awesome. It's fun. It was great that we finally got you, Justin, and we're able to do this and talk a little bit about like rejects and talk a little bit about beer. And it was great. It was a great show, dude. It was absolutely phenomenal.
Cool.
So run down there, folks, boys and girls. Run down there to Rejects Brewing and ask for Justin and ask for good beer, and you'll get it with any of their phenomenal fours. Try everything they have. Everything they have twice, guys. Just take Buddy's word for it. Tune in next week as we take Buddy's word for it. Tune in next week as we welcome live from Block Island, Rick Lysick, the owner of the Club Soda, another dive bar there in he's the former owner of Club Soda. Another dive bar in Rhode Island, and as tune in as we talk great beers, great vacation beers from Block Island. For the Greekiest man I know across the sink, really, for Ed the Doctor, Pat Nord, for Justin Tinsdale of Rejects Brewing. It's been Buddies there. There's been 3 dudes for the last call. Thanks for tuning in, boys and girls. It's been a great time. Cheers. Always drink good beers. And, get them for Rejects. We're up. Thank you. Go Red Sox. Peace.